What do you think is key to a successful job or career transition?
I think most people know these days that successful transition is based on your network and you need to know people. But I think that can also feel overwhelming to people. What I found the key to successful transition is confidence, kind of emotional resilience. So there's three keys: confidence, emotional resilience, and then um, setting your expectations appropriately. And what I mean by that is I think sometimes it's a surprise to people how much work transition actually takes. And sometimes you get lucky early, but you never know when you're going to get lucky. And really, transition takes lots and lots of action, with a lot of those actions not getting any results at all. And then kind of an unpredictable factor of luck in there that shows up really intermittently. So, in order to set your expectations appropriately, I like to have people look at the process of change, which starts with the beginning where you're kind of excited and motivated. And then you get into this long phase, which I call the slog of transition. And then at the end, you start getting some results and it feels good. The problem is you don't know how long the slog is going to be. It could be 4 months, it could be 3 years, it could be a really long time. And how do you stay confident and emotionally resilient during that time? Well, the first part is that expecting that it's going to be unpredictable makes you stop blaming it on yourself. Like, oh, well, I'm not getting any results. I must be doing something wrong. I mean, you might be doing something less effectively than you could be. And it always makes sense to try to keep improving your transition skills. But in general, this whole slog of transition is everybody gets it, right? Everybody has to deal with it when they're in transition, and it's kind of designed to be demoralizing. So what we really want to do is just expect that and then do a lot of self-care through the process. So I feel like that's one of the main keys. And then kind of at an above level, a tangible level, you really have to work your network. And otherwise you're just computers are going to be doing the job and you'll get screened out or in for sort of arbitrary things. And you can try to learn that process, and that's good. But having relationships is really the way to go. So getting introductions, building relationships, that sort of thing.
That's a great segue to our next question. As you mentioned, networking is a key part to any transition. What if someone has neglected their network? Do you have any recommendations on how they can rebuild it?
Yes. So the good news is that actually you could rebuild a network in 4 months. And I think that's probably encouraging to people because a lot of the great networks that we've built up over the course of years. But you can build a rudimentary network up in about 4 months from scratch just by getting started. So I think if you've got a network that you haven't nurtured very well, take heart. You can probably, in a few months, you can probably get it back to feeling like a good network for you. One thing to keep in mind is everyone knows about 250 people, and you never know when that luck's going to come in. It could be the neighbor's gardener that gives you the referral or the introduction to the person that leads you to your next opportunity. So you never know where it's going to come from. So don't discount who you're talking to. I used to coach a lot in the MBA programs, and they were kind of programmed to go, well, I have to go network with the CEOs. Got to tell you, CEOs aren't out there networking. They're usually extremely busy, and getting meetings with CEOs takes a lot of effort. And often it's not actually going to get you everything that you need. Really, what you want to know is real people in real organizations who are kind of on the ground, and that's going to give you the information that you need. The thing that's really important for people to understand is that your loose relationships are the ones that are going to bring you the opportunities. It doesn't have to be your really close friends. In fact, your really close friends and colleagues often have a sort of a stereotyped view of you. And especially if you're trying to make a change, like become a different type of person in your profession, people sort of have you pigeonholed as the way they already know you. So it's your loose connections that are actually going to provide you more opportunities. And with someone that you've never met before, if you have 3 conversations with them, they're likely to be in a position where they would refer you. It's that quick. You get to know them in the first conversation, you find things in common, you start liking them. If they've talked to you 3 times and you've engaged with each other and you like each other, they probably won't hesitate to refer you. So that's why I say you could build a network in just a matter of months. And it's got to be done if you want to transition effectively.